Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lansing, Michigan for tonight's Futsal Champions Series match between Lansing City and Mitwest FC. I'm Jared Kleppel along with Gerard Iscani. Gerard, this is the first time that we have seen Mitwest in action since December 1st.
It has been a while, and it's exciting to see. This is the first time they're playing here in quite some time. It looks like we might have a late roster change.
Just getting some confirmation on the roster for the guys in red tonight. Lansing City out on the court, ready to go. Referees waiting, and Mitwest team just getting in uniform, making their way onto the court at the moment. So very interesting when it comes to this one. You know, one of the things that we've been asking ourselves leading up to this game is Mitwest, they haven't played a game since December 1st, and tonight we wonder, is it going to be more of the same, or will they be able to write a new story? They're currently sitting at 0-5. They have a negative 68 goal differential in the league right now. All their games dropping by double digits, except one was a 9-goal loss. And curious to see what they bring to the court tonight. On the Lansing City side, it's all about winning and winning big. If they want to stay in the playoff race, this is the key. Let's actually just take a moment right before we get to kickoff here. Take a look at the playoff picture. So you can see right there, Grand Rapids Ole and Midwest United have both clinched spots. Now the top two seeds have not been solidified yet. Those are important because they get to host the semifinals. Technically, all the teams are in contention, but Mitwest would have to win all or nearly all of their games and get a lot of help. But for Lansing City, scoring a lot of goals is helpful tonight. As you can see, that third bullet point, goal differential is the first tiebreaker. So right now, Lansing City, Jinga, and Detroit Imperial are really the ones that are fighting for those last two spots. You can see in the bottom left of each team, it has their goal differential. Lansing City and Detroit both at 20 positive, and Jinga at a -4. So the more goals you can score while getting a win is going to help with the getting a spot in the playoffs for Lansing City. And Gerard, we're kind of winding this season down, but it's not really winding down. It's really building up.
It's building up
to potentially, a couple of teams that could be up to their last game.
It can be. And you know what's interesting? So I just had to step away for a moment to get some last-minute roster changes because we have a lot of – it's not unusual for Mitwest to have these late roster additions and subtractions. And so it looks like a few of the players aren't going to be here that were submitted on the initial roster. But we do have a new player that Marcus Iasko is going to be here tonight. He's number 7. So we'll be on the lookout for that as we get underway.
So here we go. Lansing City, Mitwest. Coupled with an early shot blocked by Josh Postuma. Goalkeeper for Mitwest FC. We've seen. It's up. Whoa! That came right towards us in the booth. We're clear though. No problems.
You know, one of the things that we've seen last time that Josh Postuma was here was just his prowess in goal. We were talking about this in the third half this week, was just really his shot-stopping ability. Mitwest has let in the most goals in the league, and so it doesn't always lead to that being a positive for the goalie. But Josh Postuma is always putting on an incredible display because even though they have let in a lot of goals, he probably is leading the league in saves.
A lot of saves on a lot of opportunities for him. In the orange for Mitwest tonight. Here comes Lansing City across half. Oh, deflection. Kleppel was looking for Saltzman there. It's going to be a corner kick for Lansing City here early on. Vu takes it. Blocked by the Mitwest defense.
And Storm Powers is on the ball. He's one of the new additions for Mitwest. Storm Powers, he actually has a history here at Lansing City. So he played at Lansing City in the youth academy, and he says his fondest memory of futsal is actually playing in the youth academy at Lansing City with one of the historic figures, Dino.
Yes, so I believe, if I am interpreting this correctly, Lansing City we haven't had it this year, but there used to be an inflatable dinosaur that would roam around and just get the crowd into it, have a good time, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was talking about when he said dino, right? It was actually an inflatable dino. So very interesting. Number 3 for Mitwest FC, a former youth academy player. Club was shot off the crossbar. He slides. Mitwest looking for a counterattack. Lansing City is there. Elijah Vu, David Saltzman, he's going to pick it up. Finds Jonah Timblow, and now they have a 2-on-1. That one goes under the foot of Saltzman. Net dislodged here, so.
Yeah, it looks like Francois a little upset there on that slide tackle from Jeremy Kleppel. It looks like he wanted to have an accumulated foul, but it does not look like we called one. But Kleppel's shot was such a blast that it dislodged the goal.
We talked a little bit as we got into this one, but both teams, Gerard, coming into this game, you know, if you're Lansing City, you are at 9 points right now. You're trying to get to 15 points to have a really good chance at getting into the playoffs. And if you get to 15, it's a good chance that you're going to be tied with one or two other teams. So that means
goal differential.
Goal differential.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about this game particularly and a lot of assumption about what Lansing City's going to do. But regardless of how the game turns out, they still have to play the game. And so you can see Mitwest always comes out really strong to start the game. And so let's see if Lansing City can go ahead and put some early goals in to take capture of the momentum.
Who clears that one away from Storm Powers, number 3. He's one of the starters for Mitwest tonight, along with him, Zach Landers. We have, of course, Josh Pashma in goal. Number 9, Sam Al. And it looks like, I think, number 7 rounds it out. Is that correct?
Yep, Marcus Ionesco.
Marcus Ionesco.
He was the late roster addition that we just got from Coach Francois while we started our broadcast tonight.
So Ionesco, he's going to take that one for Mitwest. That's how they start here on the near side. Zach Landers trying to get around of Jonah Timblow, not going to happen. So Lansing City will put it back into play.
You know, Mitwest have had their struggles during the season, but Zach Landers is somebody that continually does have an impact for them, a positive impact. So he's one of the players I'd be looking for tonight to have some difference or component of impact in this game.
Here's Klepp on the attack with Vu, finds Saltzman, stopped by Marcus Ionesco.
And it looks like we got Nathan Hahn is spotted in the arena, but he's not dressed in uniform. I don't know if he's injured or if he's going to be playing, but he just arrived. And potentially Joshua Hahn as well.
Yeah, seen two or three maybe red shirts over there in the locker room area, so maybe some reinforcements from Mitwest, as right now they only have 1 on the bench. We talked about how Lansing City comes into this game, Gerard, but Mitwest, it's a very different story.
It is, yeah. So they've had a really rough season. They have let in a ton of goals every single game. As we get a foul right here, first foul of the game against Mitwest. You know, and Mitwest has brought in some new players. One of them we just talked about was Marcus Ionesco. Storm Powers is a new player, and so hopefully they can start to turn things around this season.
One of the things when we had a chance to speak with Coach Francois leading up to this match, he talked about is he felt like over their almost 3-month break, they've been able to get quite a bit more time on the futsal court, and he felt like that that might help them out in their pursuit of you know, really trying to be in a game is where they're at. They haven't really been in any game. Kleppel has a touch inside and takes a shot. So it's very interesting as we have their basically second half of the season here in the next few weeks. Is it more of the same? or is it going to be the same story? You know, right now they're at a negative 68 goal differential.
Well, you know, one of the greatest coaches ever, John Wooden, talked about the details of the game. And one of the things that just as we see, like, the players don't show up on time, we don't have the right numbers on the roster, we're getting late additions, we don't have the details right for Mitwest. And so I don't have a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to turn it around this season just based on that simple fact that we miss so many details of even showing up on time to the games.
Originally, referee signaled a timeout, but it was a mistake. No timeout called. Just under 17 to go here in half number 1. Lansing City playing out of the back. Touch inside and a shot from Storm Powers to find its way out of bounds. Josh Robeson is there, but not until it crosses the sideline. And now we're going to have our first timeout of the match. This one called by Mitwest FC. I assume it's going to be to bring in a couple of their players that arrived late. You see them right there. Coach Francois chatting with his squad, wanting to get his whole team in there. Well, we want to take this time to let you know that today's match is sponsored by Ally Marketing. If you're looking for a teammate in the marketing space, check out Ally Marketing. AllyMarketing.us, that's ALLY marketing.us. Ally Marketing is the official marketing partner of the FCS. Ally Marketing, let's be friends.
And just a couple of quick updates for the fans at home. We thought Marcus UNESCO was wearing number 7. He's actually wearing number 4, and Brian Cruz is wearing number 7.
Well, updated roster information here for Mitwest, and they have 3 players on the bench now. And here is Robeson trying to go down the sideline. He finds Chris Spain, and he's going to take a tumble while trying to get around number 7, Brian Cruz.
Yeah, I think that's a good delayed call right there, just to give Lansing City the opportunity to play advantage. Chris Spain was looking for Josh Robeson, but the foul caused Robeson to not be able to continue that play.
Now here's Kleppel. Oh, his shot. It's blocked by Postuma. It kind of spun off his hands a little bit there.
It did. He couldn't stop that clean because that was just hit way too hard.
Here comes Lansing City.
Oh, and Chris Payne's hurt. Love to see a replay on that to see if he got ball, but it looked like Brian Cruz had a dangerous tackle and Chris Payne is hurt. The referee's adamant there was no foul, though.
Holding his knee, collision. Unfortunately, we don't have that one on the replay.
You know, it's one of the things sometimes that we see, even if there is a clean slide tackle where you get the ball, referees will sometimes call a foul just based on how egregious the contact was. And the fact that Chris Payne's having to come off the court right now because of that situation, you'd think that at least considering a foul would be warranted.
Ashima gets us going again. I know that was in the last game. There was a Lansing City at Detroit Imperial. David Saltzman got whistled for a foul when he went down and got the ball. You know, I think when you get the ball and there's a collision, I mean, that's clean in my eyes. I didn't see anything there that would warrant a whistle, and neither did the official in this case. So play resumes, 16 minutes to go in the first half. It kind of feels like more time should have be off the clock here just based on the pace of things, but the Kleppel shot goes wide. Nyasaba can't quite deflect that one in, so
some reason to be optimistic right there, though. Nyasaba was in great position on the back post run, and it's one of the things that we like to see, that continued development from him over the season.
Kleppel with the takeaway. His pass deflected out of bounds. Lansing City with a kick in on the near side. Here is Mitwest. See how they can deal with the Lansing City pressure. Coach Francois very active in his communication with his players. Lansing City edging up the defense. Oh, here's a 1v keeper. Nyasaba with an excellent move. Goal number 1 for Lansing City.
What an incredible show of skill right there by Nyasaba. The little pullback got Postuma going one way, slides it back over to his left to slide it home easily.
He puts it into the back of the net. Goal number 1 for Beyonce Nyasaba and Lansing City coming at 15:30.
You know, we just got done talking about Nyasaba and his back post run and being in the right spot. And, Josh Robeson with a great effort on goal, just wide.
Trying to add to that Lansing City lead right away was Robeson.
But it's really great to see that from Nyasaba. We've talked about this young Lansing City team and their development over time. We've seen time and time again Nyasaba not being in the right spot for that back post run. Just before that play, Jeremy Kleppel had a shot on goal, but Nyasaba was in the right spot, and so it's really awesome to see him be rewarded with a goal for understanding the right positioning on offense.
Lansing City is going to get whistled for a foul here. Card going to be shown. I believe that is Santiago Contreras. If my eyes don't mistake me, it's not who we have on the sheet.
No, it's I don't know who the foul was on, but we got Elijah Vu and Alessandro Blanco in.
Is that Blanco?
That is Blanco. Okay, yeah, Blanco. That is Blanco.
That is Blanco? Okay. Mm-hmm. I must be mistaken. I thought it looked like Santiago.
Santiago's not on the bench tonight.
A 3-man wall for Lansing City. Ethan Castaneda coming up there. Strike right into the wall, kind of looking for almost a little chip. Vu's going to go direct, looking for the net on the other side, but nothing there for him.
It's one of the big call-outs tonight. We have quite a few absentees for Lansing City, and it's going to be a challenge for them. Not only do they not have Luciano Cernuda, Jack Fisher's still injured, but Drew Barney's also injured, and we just talked about Santiago's not here either. So they got a lot of absences to overcome in this victory tonight if they can pull it away.
Elijah Vu hits the ground hard at a collision with number 8, Zach Landers. Right in front of the official, no call. Play resumes with Lansing City in the attacking half. Talking with Coach Francois leading up to this game, he really felt like his team was, honestly a little bit similar to how we viewed Lansing City all year long, where they've had some silly mistakes giving up goals, and as long as they don't make those mistakes, they can be in the game. Personally, I really don't think that was the case in the first half of the season. But we'll have to see if it is this time. But Lansing City going to pour it on some more. Kleppel with the goal. Lansing City has 2.
It's hard to say that that's just a mistake that was made. Jeremy Kleppel makes a great run into the middle. He did have Zach Landers, who he faked out, put the little deke on, got to the left and slotted it home.
Lansing City 2, Mitwest 0, 14 and a half to go. Wow, Saltzman disappointed with that one. Had his hands on his head. He thought he should have scored that. Conversation with the official. Ball went under one of the signage pieces on the other side of the court. Castaneda long throw, finds the head of Timblow.
It's a great idea though, right there. Just put a little flick on it, get it over Postuma. Oshma wasn't in a great position to stop that if it would have been on target.
Oshma plays short. Lansing City pressuring high.
Yeah, I'd really anticipate Lansing City doing that all night, this high pressure. A lot of times when you are more skilled, you're going to accelerate the game more. It's one of the things that we talk a lot about this, especially at Lansing City. They love to accelerate the game. I anticipate a lot of that tonight.
We're seeing Mitwest also give somewhat of a high press as well. Something to be watching, how both teams handle that high pressure. Just making the player uncomfortable. Kleppel goes to the ground. We're going to have another foul against Mitwest.
And we have Nathan Hahn, the late arrival, his first action of the game tonight. He's just entered.
The foul there, committed against Kleppel. Not much to it. Third foul for Mitwest. Kleppel shot blocked by the wall. Castaneda comes up. Ball hits the ceiling, stoppage of play. Will be Mitwest kick on the far sideline.
And if I'm not mistaken, Nathan Hahn is actually 13 years old. He would be the youngest player in FCS.
Number 16 here on the near side. See on the right corner of your screen, bottom right corner of your screen there. Mitwest attack is going to go nowhere, so to go over the end line or the sideline. Looks like it's going to be end line. Restart from Castaneda's hands. A little bit of careless ball there. Holtzman lets it go over the line. And another turnover. The ball was not stopped and on the line. But Lansing City regains possession just like that.
Yeah, that's a clear example of what we talk about, the details. The details not to get a kick in right, not to have it on the line, not to have it stop moving.
Trezor Crispane back in the game for Lansing City. He nearly has a chance. Corner kick for Lansing City. Holtzman was looking for Crispane. Vu with the follow-up. Going to go out of bounds. Kleppel goes sideline. His shot deflected. Be a corner for Lansing City. Goalkeeper Castaneda comes up just inside the half line. Chip to Saltzman. He's got one breathing down his neck. That's Alvaro Garcia.
You know, as we see Nathan Hahn fight for the ball right there, shout out to our player bios. You can go take a look at Nathan Hahn's bio online, and it's really remarkable when you think about a 13-year-old playing with grown men in the FCS and really doing his best to hold his own.
Going to have a whistle against Lansing City. Not sure what was going on there. See if we can take another look, find out what that whistle was about.
Looks like it might have been a handball. It just kind of popped up. Yeah.
Mitwest all the way back to Postuma. Postuma working with number 8, Dak Landers. And one thing that you have to notice about the atmosphere here, ooh, ball coming right across the face of goal. That got over Castaneda's leg. One thing you have to notice here in the arena is you can very clear Coach Francois. Pretty much this whole first 8 minutes of the first half, you're hearing him very constantly, talking to his team, being directly involved in substitutions and pulling players up to the line and getting them going. And very interesting, not something that we typically see from coaches to be. We just don't really see that influence continuing through the game and how loud the coach is.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the biggest challenges for him as we see a shot on goal by Alvaro Garcia. One of the biggest challenges with having this rotating roster and new players being added, trying to teach a system while you're playing the game. So I would imagine that being that we have late additions even to the game, still players showing up as we speak. There's a couple of players getting ready for the game to come in. We'll let you know who they are once we figure that out. But new players coming in, how much practice time do they get? How much time do they get together? And so if they don't know the system, we just saw Josh Pashima directing everyone on the court into position on a corner kick.
Here is Pashima. He goes long. That one missed by number 3, Storm Powers.
And again, those are the details, right? The details we talk about. If the team doesn't even know what position to be in on a corner kick, to where all 4 outfield players have to be directed to specific spots, how much time are they getting practicing those set pieces together?
A couple players from both sides jostling for the possession of the ball in that case. Little flick coming on. Mitwest are going to break through and score their first goal. Number 7, Brian Cruz. Take a look at that one more time.
Yeah, and it looks like the high press caught Lansing City off right there. Jeremy Kleppel was up a little high, and Brian Cruz was able to slip behind. Kleppel subbed himself off too. Not sure if maybe there's something contributed to letting that slip behind, maybe an injury or. Well, some fancy footwork from Blanco before he's dispossessed.
Handball, I think, called on that one against number 8, Zach Landers. But Gerard, here we are, just about halfway through the first half. Lansing City up 2-1. How does this compare with your expectations of where we'd be at this point of the game?
I didn't think we would be exactly here. It's one of the things, though, it's a kind of a recurring theme for Lansing City with some of the slow starts. And so they kind of have to take some time to work themselves into the game. Oh, great pass by Josh Robeson, but Jonah Timblow didn't make that back post run. Really great effort and skill to get that pass to the right spot, but Timblow didn't make the back post run. And that's the type of thing we often see early in games from Lansing City, is the slower starts. And if I'm not mistaken, it's similar to how it played out the first time these two teams played.
Lansing City again in high pressure. Timblow wins it. Puts one across, goal, and he finds Elijah Vu. Lansing City have 3 on the board.
If there's somebody that you can trust is going to be on the back post, it's Elijah Vu. He has such an innate understanding of where to be on the court. What just a fantastic example of the positioning here. Jonah Timblow makes an incredible pass, but for Vu to know where he needed to be, it really is exactly what we just saw from Robeson when we were like, oh, well, Jonah didn't make the back post run. But Elijah Vu, excellent effort there, excellent positioning.
The Lansing City go up 3-1 after that goal from Elijah Vu.
And our newest addition for Mitwest tonight is Steven Santiago. He's going to be wearing number 12. Sergio is actually going to be wearing number 13. And Luli Mendoza is wearing number 6. You should see them. They're warming up on the sideline. You see them now getting loose. You should see them in action here shortly.
So originally, players that were on the roster sheet for tonight from Mitwest, they were crossed out at the beginning of the game, and now they're starting to show up. So I think we've had probably 5 players. Ooh, a long one. That one goes wide. 5 players that have come over to us to let us know, hey, we're here and here's our number. And so, we haven't seen Mitwest at full strength yet today.
We haven't, and it goes into kind of some of the same themes that we've been talking about: lack of preparation, lack of attention to the details. So let's see how, now that they have their full roster here, let's see if they're able to pull some things together more cohesively.
Really just a chaotic start to the game for Mitwest. I mean, it was quite surprising to me that we actually started as close to the start time as we did. And we saw the coach walk into the arena for the first time right about 7 o'clock.
As frustrating as it is for games to be delayed or for players to show up late, one of the call-outs to make is that all of these players here have lives outside of FCS. And another great shot by Jeremy Kleppel, just wide. But they, life gets in the way sometimes, and as much as we would love for everyone to be committed and here on time every game, sometimes it just can't happen.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Saltzman knows he should have put that one in the back of the net. But I got to say, with a team like Mitwest, we've seen several games this year already that they've been late, and for these players to be here, it's kind of like you feel like you can't really give them that pass anymore because of just how often that chaotic atmosphere and showing up late and multiple players, having wrong jerseys and everything. This is just something that continues to happen, and it's tough for that not to translate onto the floor. Like when you're a player and you're showing up in the middle of a game, it's like how do you work together as a team when that kind of atmosphere and culture is surrounding like your games? You know what I mean? That's just got to be, and it's just tough, and it's self-inflicted.
Yeah, it's definitely not the culture that leads to excellence, that's for sure.
Mitwest have got on the board, though. They have 1 goal. Lansing City has 3. Here comes Kleppel. Ooh, his toe poke strike. Great save from Postuma getting down low.
And we saw a lot of that the last time these two teams met. A great shot from Kleppel on target with some pace, and a great save by Postuma.
Elijah Vu near the top of the arc. His opportunity sails wide. Looks like there was a deflection.
Well, it's interesting. The referee saying that there's not a deflection.
All
of the players thought it was. So it looks like the players did not agree for either team.
Mitwest trying to deal with that high pressure.
It's actually one of the tricks of the trade for officials in situations like that, and you're unsure of what team it went out on, is slow your call down and watch the body language of the players. A lot of times they will tell you what the right call is.
Couple down the sideline for Lansing City, earns a corner.
Can't tell you how many times I did that. You let the players call the game themselves.
Sneaky little trick. He was trying to put it back in play. Trouble for Lansing City. Mitwest going the other way. Ooh. Castaneda. Surely this one's going to be that straight red. It is going to be straight red for Castaneda. Catching a piece of Zach Landers. Unfortunate play, but I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it's the right call, and he really had to take the player out if he wasn't going to get the ball either, because it's a goal either way. At least now Lansing City has a chance to prevent the goal.
You could make a case for Saltzman kind of running in the back there. Maybe we'll have a chance after this kick to see it again at a break, but he was coming in to kind of get in front of the goal, and so obviously the red card is coming from, denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Landers takes the strike. Oh, Kleppel!
Oh!
He's playing goalie.
What a great effort from Kleppel. Great positioning and awareness.
So now Lansing City, after that red card, they find themselves down a player for the next 2 minutes or until they concede.
And it looks like they're going to take their first timeout.
So timeout, Lansing City, the second of the half. And they're going to discuss, okay, what do we do here? Let's set up our, for lack of a better term, it's like a penalty kill, essentially, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, and similar to what we were talking about with how you can read the players when balls go out and kind of like get a feel for what the players thought. No one on Lansing City, including their coach, Matt Elishari, were arguing with the officials on that red card. And so even if David Saltzman might have been someone that could have prevented that opportunity, no one on Lansing City voiced any displeasure. It was kind of a moment of acceptance that the red card was warranted, and it's ready just to move on to take care of business and not allow a goal. And it's always one of the things that you want to see happen when you get these unfortunate situations that happen and somebody does get that red card. How do you recover mentally? It's one of the things Coach Fabian Rodriguez talks a lot about with his team, that he really looks for those moments when the team can start to lose composure, and how do you bring it back. And so really great timeout here to make sure that the team's locked in and focused on what needs to happen to recover from this red card.
The Lansing City down a player for the next couple of minutes. The four they put on the court: Kleppel, Saltzman, Vu, and Gonzalez in goal. Foul happened probably right around the 8:40 to go, if I had to guess. Oh, wow, looks like our game clock on the stream is actually quite a bit off. Here in-house, we have 8:25 on the clock. But just something to be aware of, a few more minutes actually here in person.
Of all of the things that are difficult with futsal, there's a lot of skill involved. One of the most skillful requirements is of the scoreboard operator, because the ball goes out of play, the clock stops a lot. Maintaining that time on the stream and in person is sometimes really difficult.
Great save there coming from Conrad Gonzalez. Let's take another look.
Zach Landers with a strike.
Long range shot. Great save from Gonzalez. Oh, here comes Saltzman. Elijah Vu, 2v2 with the keeper. Posham is going to stop that opportunity. Lansing City have to get back quick. Warren Powers, Louis Mendoza, Dak Landers.
Another strike. He's not afraid to take a shot on goal.
Corner kick, up comes Postuma. Lansing City with substitution. Ooh, and Mitwest is going to win a keeper restart. Some fresh legs for City, trying to kill this man advantage opportunity for Mitwest. That was Storm Powers at the top of the arc with more or less an open goal, and he sent it sky high. Now here comes Elijah Vu. Had a couple Mitwest defenders surrounding him. Lansing City about a minute and a half into this penalty kill. Timblow waiting on the sideline for the okay to come back in. A shot. Zach Landers Had a good placement, but not enough pace to get by Gonzalez. And there's Lansing City at full strength now.
Yeah, really great penalty kill right there by Lansing City. Outstanding block by Elijah Vu, putting his body on the line, defending the goal.
The shot from Steven Santiago.
And that's Steven Santiago's first action of the night. He's one of the late additions.
And here he is with it now. Working with Landers. He goes down, holding his ankle just for a bit, but he seems to be okay.
You know, we were talking about all the details and really the opportunity for Mitwest in that, but that penalty kill right there is a really excellent example of Lansing City's ability to pay attention to the details. Their composure and their structure throughout that entire 2-minute time period was really excellent.
Referee having a conversation with Coach Francois, being up too far, I think, near to the court, and it's a bad giveaway. Here is Santiago. Great save from Gonzalez, getting down on the floor. He talked about that when we actually talked to him a couple weeks ago on Third Half podcast, how his outdoor instincts of going down with his hands. Mm-hmm. You know, he says, hey, the young keepers on his team, Ethan Castaneda, he says, hey, don't imitate me in that. Do your kick save. But we saw in display there how he got to the ground and was able to make that save in the corner.
He gets to the ground fast.
Boo shoots this one out of the atmosphere.
It's one of the reasons that goalies are taught to use their feet for saves, because you can get your foot in position faster than you get your hand down to the ground. Jonah Timblow with a shot on goal, just wide. But, you know, it's one of the things that Conrad's good at. You know, even if it's not something you should do, he gets down quick.
Here's Postuma. Plays it short, tries to give a little space. Elijah Vu goes down. No call from the referee.
The more physical that they're allowed to play, it's really going to play into Mitwest's favor. That's one of the things we talk about from time to time is really the physicality of the game. The more skilled teams tend to be countered with physicality, and that's exactly what Mitwest is doing here right now.
A shot from Santiago.
You
almost landed in the urinal.
You can't give Elijah Vu time on the ball in front of goal. And when you think about just that physical presence just to knock him down, it is kind of curious how there wasn't a foul when he got knocked down twice on the same play.
Some pressure coming from Mitwest. They're not in a man, more of a zone. They brought two players to try to defend Kleppel. Here they come again. They do what they wanted to do there and cause a turnover.
We haven't really seen a defense like that against Kleppel yet this season, kind of like a double team immediately upon him getting the ball.
Very interesting. Looks like they're doing a high press, but in a zone, which is not something that you usually see. Well, actually, I take that back. You do see it in some cases. I think Lansing City even sometimes does it to an extent. It's kind of like a basketball terms, a matchup zone is almost what it is. But I'm curious to see how it continues, because it looked a little different than anything I've seen. So we'll see how, as the game goes on, how that develops. Here's Chris Spain.
Oh, and Blanco comes in, picking up the rebound. Postuma makes a great save. Chris Spain tried to pull an Ayasaba there with a little ball spin roll, but Postuma was ready for it, and he made the save. But Blanco, just the outstanding instincts there of where to be to put that one away.
He finds the back of the net. That's number 4 for Lansing City.
And that's Blanco's first goal in the FCS.
Congratulations to Alessandro Blanco. His second game of the year for Lansing City, gets his first goal of his career in the FCS.
And he's somebody that Matt Alashari was really high on before this game and before last game. Just his technical skills are really outstanding. Similar to Emerson Mena, he does only speak Spanish, and so there is a bit of a language barrier. Tonight, there's no one else on Lansing City's team that speaks Spanish, so it truly is the language of futsal that's carrying him.
Here's Nyasaba. He dribbles it over the end line. Restart. Postuma. Interesting to note, that goal from Lansing City scored while Kleppel was not on the floor. We have not seen many goals come from Lansing City in that case, but they made it happen without Kleppel on the floor. This one rolls over the end line. Postuma will restart. 4:19 to go in half number one. Lansing City up 4-1. Mendoza going to retrieve the ball there. Ball was not on the line, so it will be a turnover. Lansing City will now have that kick in.
That is Mitwest's second kick-in violation today.
Something that we've seen more frequently throughout the season than I'd hoped to see. And here's Elijah Vu's going to have the same exact thing.
Yeah, and it's tough because when they put the ball down, it is a round ball on a flat surface, so it can roll. And so right there, that's exactly what happened to Elijah. He put the ball on the line and it rolled away. It's just one of the things that you have to be aware of as a player before you kick it to make sure that it's stopped and that it's on the line.
Couple back on the floor for City. He receives it here. Got Saltzman to his right, Vu to his left. He finds Vu across the face of goal. Did it take a deflection? Thought it did, but must not have. Mendoza turning right into the Lansing City high pressure. Timbo takes it the other way. His pass makes it to Postuma. Postuma scoops it up and goes long to Powers. Kleppel is there.
Quite a bit of conversation with the referee here. He's actually remonstrating what should have been done and how should the kick go, as far as like whether or not there was a foul. It's not often that you see that much demonstration from an official.
Here is Kleppel. Oh, he gets by three. And Postuma stops his pass to Timblo, who would have had a wide open goal. He gets it back again, looking for a turn. Instead, shoves it off to Vu. Back to the point. Here's Kleppel. Now back to Vu. Toe poke. Blocked by Landers. Saltzman takes it away. I just heard Saltzman say, hey, he just kicked me in the back of the leg. And he's wondering why there isn't a foul, but referee swallows his whistle in that case. Here's Zach Landers. He finds the back of the net. Goal number 2 for Mitwest FC.
You know, you have to say that was really outstanding awareness of Zach Landers to have the little cheeky chip shot. Conrad Gonzalez was coming out and got caught in a really tough spot at the top of the penalty area, but he had quite a bit of distance behind him, and Zach Landers was aware and just chipped it right over him. As we fire a shot from Jeremy Kleppel, soars over the goal.
I think Josh Poshman gets the assist for that one on the distribution, or was that a chip? I think it came from the hands of Poshma. Could be wrong.
You know, normally I would have some more awareness of what happened, but I was just in awe of the chip shot from Zach Landers. You know, we talked about the impact he could have in this game, so to see him walk away with that's not something you see often pulled off. And Jeremy Kleppel hits the bar again.
Off the bar. Fantastic play there. Not quite hitting nylon. See it again. Chip from Saltzman takes one bounce off the first bounce. Looking for the top shelf. Kleppel again, Poshman with another save. He's been doing what they need him to do so far this game. That's making great saves. Oh, Kleppel
As
again.
he makes another one. What an outstanding shot from Jeremy Kleppel. Just a spin around, giving us, bringing back our fond memories of Luciana Cernuda there, just off the volley. That's an incredibly difficult shot to 180 turn off the volley, and great save from Poshman.
Here's another one. Wow.
I don't understand how that can be not
I heard that.
kick. Yeah, not only heard it, but it was an incredible save from Poshma.
I think there was one person in this arena that thought it was a keeper restart, and unfortunately that was the only opinion that mattered. Just under 2 minutes to go. Mitwest showing high press. They do. Looking to double Kleppel in the corner. He's trying to get out of it. He finds help from Gonzalez. Up to Robeson. West fall back into their half-court defense. Here is Kleppel, faced up by Brian Cruz, working with Robeson on the near side. Kleppel tripped up, but he keeps going. We're gonna have a accumulated foul here against Mitwest. Ball goes out of bounds though, and Mitwest have possession now. Dealing with the high press of Lansing City. Lansing City win it. Now Mitwest showing their own pressure. Saltzman trying to turn. Way is blocked by Santiago. Public gets by one, facing the second. Gives it to Vu. Now Vu to Chris Bain. Chris Bain had his back to goal. Wasn't able to do anything with it. Mitwest possession is going to roll all the way over to Conrad Gonzalez. With just under a minute to go, Gonzalez is going to restart from his hands. He goes direct up the floor to Chris Bain. Chris Bain, two on him. Met by Poshma. Poshma going right back the other way. Not handled. Here comes Kleppel. He gets hit. No call. He's still going. Oh, 3 players go. 3 players plus the goalie. And he finds Saltzman on the back post. Goal number 5.
Jeremy has the Mitwest players yelling at each other for their positioning, because when you have 3 different players attacking Jeremy Kleppel and they can't stop him, and he's able to pull it back, and you know, Saltzman knows exactly where to be. It's on the back post waiting for that pass. Kleppel finds him. You know, very creative play, good positioning by Saltzman, great footwork by Jeremy Kleppel.
Vu hits the floor. Gonzalez and Santiago.
The referee was reaching for a card. The referee on the opposite side of the court, he did not show one, which is interesting because it did look like Santiago had his arms and his hands on Conrad Gonzalez. And it's a situation when you think about that level of physicality. So they are giving a Is it the 5th foul?
Yeah,
sixth foul.
That was
Sorry,
sixth foul. Yep, that one against Elijah Vu. And I think, when Conrad came out there, obviously he's continuing to play. And, I think he wasn't willing to back down. I think Lansing City have felt like there's been a lot of physicality that's outside of the scope of the game that's not being handled by the referees. And I think we might see a little bit of that frustration come out on this 6th foul penalty through Kleppel's leg. So I do not envy Posthumo's position at this moment. Ooh, Chris Bain, can he find another way? No, Postuma with 2 great saves. Here comes Vu, and Saltzman again. 2 goals in a row. Lansing City have 6.
What a fantastic display of a never die mentality, a never quit mentality. Lansing City just continues to put the pressure on and on. Postuma makes 2 fantastic saves, but Lansing City does not stop. Elijah Vu continues to put the pressure on. David Saltzman once again finds himself in the perfect position to put that away.
Mitwest were looking for something quick there. Sergio up the court trying to find Brian Cruz. Now with just under 10 to go. Lansing City not slowing down. Vu going across court, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's time as Saltzman and Sergio, a little collision there and a handshake afterwards. And that's how we end half number 1. 6-2 in favor of Lansing City. What did you see in that first half, Gerard?
Well, if you take away the last 2 minutes of the half, Lansing City's not really feeling good about where they're at, only winning and leading by 2 goals, 4-2 going into halftime. But they really closed out the half well to put on an additional 2 goals. David Saltzman was leveling up his positioning. For them to walk into halftime into the locker room at 6-2, that's a much more comfortable position to be in, and really is a better example of what we're seeing on the court as far as what the scoreline is, because Lansing City really has dominated this game in just about every fashion. There's been a couple of breakaway goals, really fantastic effort from Zach Landers on one of those with that chip shot. But as far as Lansing City's dictating the flow of the game right now, and the only thing that's keeping the scoreline where it's at is Mitwest's physicality and the fact that we're not seeing more of these foul calls. I was a little concerned on that last one that we had against Santiago. That was a 6th foul. It looked like he had his hands even around the neck, shoulder area of Conrad Gonzalez, and I didn't get to see the replay yet. But those are the type of dangerous plays that are really concerning and lead to more physical altercations. Luckily, Conrad Gonzalez is a more mature, composed player, and so we didn't see any type of violent reaction to that. But those are the types of moments in time that games can get completely out of control.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that in other games this year. We've seen moments kind of like that spiral out and red cards, 1 or multiple being issued and some suspensions. So it's great to see that nothing happened in that case. However, I think you are right. I think that one of the big things that's keeping Mitwest in this game is there are some, from what I'm seeing, clear fouls are not being called. However, I do have to also say I think the other thing keeping them in the game is that big orange tree in between the pipes. Josh Postuma, he's had some great saves, and he's telling his players where to be. And I think if he was not as confident in talking to his team, and if he was not making the saves that he is making, we could easily have probably 4 or 5 more goals up on the board for Lansing City.
Yeah, Postuma's putting an incredible effort in tonight. The numerous saves were for sure goals, but I'm on that free kick. Jeremy Kleppel has
he's gonna be feeling that one, I think.
Yeah, he is gonna feel that.
While.
And for him to stand that tall and to make himself that wide and put his body on the line, and he knew it was coming. I mean, he truly is a rock back there.
Absolutely, stone wall. We've seen it, and Lansing City has still been able to get 6 goals and have conceded 2 themselves. So Mitwest with 2 goals. I think, actually, I don't know their score count. Maybe we'll find that at halftime of how many goals they've they've been able to score in the season. I know the last time these two teams played, I think it was 19-2, and that was as far as they got. But we'll have some more thoughts at the halftime break, at the halftime show, and kind of preview what's to come, as well as our second game of the night. We'll give you a little preview of what's to come over there in Grand Rapids. But right now, we're going to send you to our sponsors, so don't go anywhere.
Committing a crime so you can try to escape from prison. Bad idea. Go into the pod escape room to play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your skill as an astronaut in outer space. Find Santa in Save Christmas. Or take a vacation to an abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lansing, Michigan, here in the Lansing City Arena. For today's Futsal Champions Series match, it's Lansing City hosting Mitwest FC. I'm Jared Kleppel along with Gerard Escan as we welcome you here into our courtside studio. It's 6-2 right now. Mitwest has a lot to do if they want to get back into this one, and really their goalkeeper has been a huge part of keeping them in this game.
Yeah, the only reason it's only 6-2 is because of Josh Postuma. I mean, without Josh Postuma, it could easily be double digits right now. One of the things that I really want to stand as a call out for Lansing City is the way they're playing as a team. So when you think about 6 goals, it came from 5 different players. Saltzman, he got the brace with the last of the 6. But before that, you had the first 5 goals were scored from 5 different players. And on almost all of them, it was a creative play with a back post run. And it's one of the things that we have seen time and time again through Lansing City throughout the season is that we have these passes with a back post run that just didn't exist or wasn't there. And there was some frustration, but we've seen them develop in such a way that now those back post runs are happening with more frequency, and the pass is meeting the runner as well. So it's really great to see how they've developed over time, not only to have the creativity, but to finish it as well.
And they have 6 on the board right now to Mitwest 2. Their goals have really come off of a long break in the back, whether it's from the keeper or someone else. You know, we saw a third play that didn't result in a goal, but resulted in a red card for Ethan Castaneda, and rightly so. Nothing malicious, but he was, denied a clear goal for an opportunity. If he doesn't clip the guy, he's got an open goal. So, the referee really had no choice but to show the red.
Yeah, it absolutely was the right call in that situation, red card. One of the things that we've had some conversation about was not the right call is some of the other physicality that's going unaddressed or unpunished. And that's really what we look to see addressed in the beginning of the second half. Is Mitwest going to maintain that level of physicality, or will the officials actually maintain control of this game?
That is one of the biggest questions for this half. Lansing City gets us going. For Spain, early. Mitwest trying to counter, and we're going to have our first whistle going against Lansing City. And we did see some frustration. We could clearly see it in their body language and how they were speaking to the officials, that they're not happy with how the officiating has gone so far today.
No, and there's really a lot of frustration both ways, not only with Lansing City with the officiating, but Mitwest with each other, just with their own positioning on the floor.
And here comes Lansing City. Ayasaba. Robeson now. And here's Chris Spain. Toe poke finds the foot of Zach Landers.
And we have to call it out. This is one of the first times we've seen a second half start, first or second half start without Jeremy Kleppel on the floor.
Yes, I do believe this is the first time this season that Kleppel has not started a half, either first or second. Instead, it's Blanco Trezor, Nyasaba, who has a shot blocked by Postuma, and Robeson rounding out that 4.
And another outstanding save by Postuma. That was going top right corner without the save.
For Mitwest this half, they start, of course, with Postuma in goal. They got Landers out there. They got Brian Cruz out there. Got number 4, Marcus Ionesco. And I believe Steven Santiago, or that might be Mendoza. That is Santiago, their 4th court player. That's how they start half number 2. For Spain not able to keep that one in, so Mitwest will have a kick in Lansing City territory. Lansing City with it now. Mitwest in high pressure. Spain loses it, trying to win it back. He does. Here's Blanco, squirts out to Robeson, looking for the head of Chris Spain. Nothing on that one. Take another quick look.
Really great idea by Josh Robeson to put that just over the top. A little flick from Trezor, just wide.
Not often you see a header goal like that in futsal. That would have been quite fantastic to see.
You know, it's one of the things that Josh Robeson brings to the game. This is his first year playing futsal, so he brings a lot of those outdoor soccer elements to the game. And that's really the second time tonight that he's had one of those crosses or passes over the top, putting his teammate in a position for a nice header.
And Chris Spain, it's clipped on his back as he took a shot there. Down just for a moment. First foul of the first half for Mitwest.
It's interesting they pulled the ball to the side like that because that's not where the foul occurred.
That was much more in the middle.
Yeah.
That is quite interesting. 3 in the wall. Pashima sends one away. Kleppel's going to find the back of the net.
And that looked like a nutmeg right there. It's not often you see a little gap in the wall, but he went 5-hole and made them pay.
Let's take another look at that. Yep. The wall did not stand tall. And Kleppel has his second goal of the match, bringing Lansing City to 7.
Yeah, what a fortuitous moment for Kleppel to come into the game. They get a free kick. There's no one else you want on Lansing City taking that free kick than Jeremy Kleppel.
Not sure if I would pick anyone else. Oh, Timblow off his body. He just willed that one into the back of the net. He was a brick wall. Let's see if we can catch that one again.
And that's just a chest up, great pass from David Saltzman. Timblow doing a great job to put his body on it. You know, those are really tough to control the exact direction it's going, but Timblow, he angled the hips the right way there.
Jonah Timblow gets his first goal of the match. Lansing City trying to add more.
And you can see Lansing City's up in its level of physicality right now. Josh Bostrom is complaining to the refs, and it's one of those things that you see oftentimes is one team brings that level of physicality. If the referees are not going to make those calls and not control the game and temper the physicality, then the other team has to decide when are they going to pick it up, and Lansing City's doing that right now.
Chance for Saltzman here. Pashima all over it. He's looking for a long one to Steven Santiago, and it is much too long for him.
And we see at this point the starting line from the first half for Lansing City is all out there.
Kleppel, Timblow, and Saltzman. Santiago thought that one was theirs. Has a word with the official, and of course he doesn't change his mind, so it's still Lansing City kick. Kleppel to put it into play. Mitwest in their high pressure. Ooh. Just sizing up the competition, and the defense continued to back away, and he got some space on the inside.
It's a really great move from Vu to just slide roll it in and put the shot on goal. It's something we see a lot of times from Jeremy Kleppel, so great to see from him. And speaking of Elijah Vu, I actually saw that same move pulled off by his brother today in the tournament. And, you know, it's one of the things I talked about. It's an elevated futsal move that you see from Jeremy Kleppel all the time. It's one of the things Emerson Maina talked about on our third half, is that's a professional level move. And you see it out of a lot of the top futsal players.
Well, Vu has his own chance again, but much too high to be concerning at all. Pashima restarts, he's going long. Really, Mitwest struggling in this first 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Really, to get any kind of blow or possession going, they've really, every time Lansing City's putting on some kind of attack and They're breaking the high pressure, and then whenever Poshman gets it, he throws it long, and it goes right out of bounds. Oh, Saltzman. That's the third time I've seen him almost score and put his hands on his head just like that. He's probably going to not like me saying that, but this is the truth.
Ooh, with an outstanding save.
Puts it in the back of the net.
Elijah Vu, time and time again, he finds the right place to be on defense. He makes an incredible steal right there, just understanding where to be. After the steal, he knows quick transition, put it on goal, just put it on the frame, give yourself a shot, and he does, and he slots it home.
And that's going to bring us to the first timeout of the second half. I believe that one was called by Mitwest.
Yeah, Mitwest needed to do something because it was getting out of hand fast, and it's one of the things that you see a lot in futsal is a mistake is made, and when the team's deflated about that mistake and they're mentally losing composure, they make another one, and it just compounds really quickly, and that's exactly what's happened these first 3.5 minutes of the second half. Midwest is not ready for the skill that Lansing City is showing right now.
We see some fans getting into the timeout music here. We'd like to remind you that today's match is brought to you by, well, that's not the right graphic. Let's get the right one up there. Today's match is brought to you by Ally Marketing, your teammate in marketing. If you're looking for a marketing teammate, check out allymarketing.us. That's ALLY marketing.us. The official marketing partner of the FCS, Ally Marketing. Let's be friends. And might as well check us out on the social medias and check out the teams on the social media channels as well. Help us grow this great game of futsal at the Futsal Champions Series.com. Out of that timeout, West not really able to get anything going there. They still are continuing with their high press, now looking to double. Couple gets by one, he gets by a second. Second tracks back. Another one coming in. Still dealing with double pressure. And it's going to come out going for Lansing City.
You know, one of the questions you have to ask yourself is who is going to be the first Lansing City player with a hat trick tonight?
Have 3 players with 2 goals to their name currently. Elijah Vu here with the ball, and is one of them. Will he be the one? Oh, he's trying to find Timblow. Had him at the back post, but stopped first.
And such an unselfish play from Elijah Vu right there. Instead of getting his hat trick, he wanted to let Jonah Timblow get in on the action as well.
That was number 11, Alvaro Garcia, making the huge stop, and Pashima getting another one. You know, one thing that I think we're seeing in today's game that we didn't see the last time Mitwest played Lansing is they are continually putting high pressure on Lansing City, many times bringing, trying to bring a double, particularly on Jeremy Kleppel in the back. And here they are again. And it's something that, I think Lansing City is breaking it most of the time, but it is accelerating the game for Lansing City, and I think it's better than what they were doing the last time around when they would just sit back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the things that we have not seen a lot of teams challenge Jeremy Kleppel in that way. We often talk about how he alone allows Lansing City to bypass the first phase, and Midwest is not allowing that assumption to be made, and they're challenging it.
Here is Saltzman. Oh, deflection almost finds its way into the goal.
That's our third post of the night. 2 for Kleppel and Saltzman right there.
Couple to kick this one in with 15:08 left in the second half. Couple goes down the sideline. Oh! 2 Lansing City players trying to get, they're fighting over that goal. Saltzman and Crispane both there, and it gets by both of them.
Much rather see 2 people making that back post run than none.
This is very true.
If we kept stats on how many times the frame of the goal was hit, I do think Lansing City would be leading the league
You
And
think so?
I do. And Jeremy Kleppel would be hands down. Him and Trezor Crispane, they hit the post a lot. I don't know if all of the goals in our league are metal frames, but there's a lot of metal getting clanged here in Lansing City every time they play.
Here is Storm Powers for Mitwest. Looking for Nathan Hahn, who wasn't there. Lansing City the other way. In a moment of transition, all Mitwest players are back. Saltzman looking for the far post, and he can't quite break through there. Nice move. Got by a lot of bodies, but did not find that net. Pashma goes long. Lansing City collects. Now, double team from Mitwest earns them almost what would be a shot.
And Blanco putting on a display right here. Fancy footwork. I mean, he's just dancing around with the ball. What an excellent display, and he wins the kick in.
Robeson tried to go up the sideline. Wasn't able to. Now Lansing City with a little combination. Blanco facing the double. Goes back to Robeson. Now he's got some space. His shot blocked. Louis Mendoza was there to get a foot on it. Whoa. Once again, Alessandro Blanco off the corner. Another save from Pashma. Chance in here for Mitwest. Little chip from Powers looking for Hahn. Gonzalez scoops it up. Here comes Lansing City. Half-court attack. Playing the pivot. Timblow with a nice leave. Trying to find Nyasaba. Wasn't there for him. Now Kleppel back on the court. Looking for some space in his left-footed strike. That one was, our trajectory was going in the back of the net if it hadn't been for the leg of Brian Cruz, excuse me. Oh.
You know, we were getting close to seeing some headers go into the goal tonight. Jonah Timblow almost on target, just high right there. Really excellent corner from Nyasaba. Ooh, and that's a dangerous play right there from Zach Landers.
See it again. Did see some arms come from him there. Looked like the referee was about to issue a caution. I think he kept it in his pocket, though.
Yeah, I didn't see him writing in the book, and so anytime there's a caution, they do write in the book. And I'm a little confused. It almost seemed like Jeremy Kleppel was saying that there wasn't anything there.
Very interesting how that play turned out.
Yeah, but that's just another excellent example of Conrad Gonzalez's composure. A lot of younger players would really lose their head when they get physically pushed like that.
Wow, another chance for Lansing City right around the goal. See if we can take a look at this one again.
Yeah, once again, Elijah Vu finding himself in an outstanding spot. And, you know, can't go without being said about Blanco's understanding of where to put the ball to put his team in a position to succeed.
I think that might have been one of the players for Mitwest was right on that goal line. It might have been Brian Cruz once again who saved that one. It did get past Pashma. Kleppel getting around two and goes out of bounds. before he can get the cross off. Mitwest now deep in their own territory. Looking to break that pressure right away. Gonzalez has to come out.
And it looks like
Sam Al goes down.
Yeah, it looks like the ball might have hit him in the head. I don't think that Conrad hit him with his foot in the head. If we can see it on the replay here. Looks like we just missed it. So Conrad Gonzalez came out to clear the ball away, and Sam Al was bearing down with full intensity.
It looked to me, if I caught it right, I think when Conrad came out, I think one of his arms was kind of swinging in the area with, I don't believe it was intentional, but I think it might have maybe smacked him on the face. This attack from Mitwest goes out of bounds. Saltzman will put it back into play. Mitwest dropping off now. Picking up Lansing City at the half line. Here's Timlo with a lot of space. Zach Landers faces him up. He wins it. Santiago's there, going long. No one around. 11:16 to go in this one. Lansing City up by 7. 9 goals to 2.
After that timeout, so Lansing City scored some really quick goals, but after that timeout, things have settled down and cooled off quite a bit.
Chance from Kleppel, blocked. Was a long ways out of bounds. But you're right, Gerard. Ever since that timeout, Lansing City's goals have slowed down. They had probably 3 or 4 in a pretty quick time frame before Mitwest called that timeout.
Yeah, I mean, they still have had some great opportunities. Like here's another one from David Saltzman, but just dwindles out. They've had some great opportunities and some really close shots, some great saves from Poshma, just haven't put any in the back of the net the last 5 minutes.
On the other end, we really haven't seen any dangerous chances for Mitwest this half. And Saltzman put this one in the back of the net. He does.
Wow.
He's the first to a hat trick for Lansing City.
How in the world did he get the angle right on that shot? That is phenomenal with his weak foot, nonetheless. Top shelf. Wow, what an incredible display of skill right there from David Saltzman.
And after all the chances that he put his hands on his head because he felt like he missed an easy one, he puts in a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, that's near impossible shot right there that he just made look effortless.
The Lansing City now have 10 to their name. They're on the attack now.
Oh, some fancy footwork from Jeremy Kleppel. One of the things that I've noticed all night tonight is Jeremy is pulling out some foot skills that we don't typically see from him. He's a lot more direct, but tonight he's bringing out some fancy skills. And Elijah Vu with another shot on goal. Poshma with the save.
Who earns the corner for Lansing City. Passes it out to Kleppel. Kleppel back to Vu. Vu gets by one, can't get by another. Saltzman trying to keep this one in. He does. He's going absolutely the wrong way. Finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez is just going to have to clear that one out. Count's going to begin. One player sets it down and goes over it. Gonzalez coming out to make that save. Nice punch from Gonzalez there. See what Mitwest has on the attack here.
It's really their strongest possession so far the second half.
Who's going to clear that one out? And honestly, it didn't look too much different than their other possessions, except they. Oh, here's Gonzalez coming way out. He's outside of his arc. He has to head that one away. He does get a piece of it. Looked like it took a deflection. Yes, the officials are going to say it did take a deflection off of number 4.
And something to keep your eye on, Conrad Gonzalez is limping right now. He's in a lot of pain. That was, he always puts his body on the line, but right now he needs to be thoughtful about how he's doing it because Ethan Castaneda got the red card earlier, so there's no backup goalkeeper. However, as you will often point out, David Saltzman does have a history in goal. So,
yes, that is correct. David Saltzman used to spend a lot of time in goal as a keeper in the game of futsal. A couple years ago, transitioned to the court, and as you mentioned, Lansing City starting keeper tonight, Ethan Castaneda, out on a red card after a slide tackle that was missed on a 1v keeper situation. Clear goal scoring opportunity. So Conrad Gonzalez is the only rostered keeper in the green jersey on the Lansing City squad at the moment.
With that early red card, we didn't get a lot of time to talk about Ethan Castaneda, but I recently learned that goalkeeping runs in the family. So he has 2 younger siblings, and they both play in goal as well. And so it's really interesting to see how the Castaneda family is just locking down the goalie for Lansing City for the next decade or so.
Meanwhile, Chris Spain has a chance on its way between a couple of Mitwest players, but on the outside of goal. Shot here from Alvaro Garcia. Really the first shot with any, I wouldn't really say that one was dangerous, but any kind of potential for Mitwest this half.
They've really struggled to do anything as far as like leading to anything successful or creating any opportunities in the half.
Now again, we're seeing a second line for Lansing City without Kleppel. Robeson, Nyasaba. Oh, Nyasaba, speaking of, he's going to find the back of the net. What a shot.
And that placement is phenomenal. So he had a goal that was stolen away from him early by Postuma with a fantastic save. He puts it on the same spot this time, though, and Postuma is just not quick enough to get there. Nyasaba fires it in.
That's his second goal of the night. And Lansing City now have 12. Or is it 11? I got 11. Lansing City with 11, Mitwest with 2.
These goals have been coming so fast here in the second half that it's hard for our in-arena scorekeeper to keep up with them.
Lansing City going to have what's essentially a corner here. Sandro Blanco really doing much with it there. Ooh, Nyasaba trying for another one off of his left foot. Postuma goes long. Looking for Garcia. Nice flick onto the inside. Oh, Mitwest player there. Ooh, Blanco looking for a little cheeky one. Diagonal between the legs, but not able to connect with Robeson. Mitwest in high pressure, doubling. Do they win it? Going to be Lansing City kicking here. Mitwest showing high pressure. Really looks like they're trying to catch Lansing City on the side and try to double. Oh, look, this one's going to come to us. What a touch. We get credit for a pass on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Now here is Lansing City.
I mean, we need to let the viewers know that our own Jared Kleppel has played before for Lansing City. I've been encouraging him to get back out there, show off some of his skill.
It'll be tough to do this and be out there at the same time.
I mean, we've been talking about getting a player mic'd up, so,
yeah.
I mean, the fans at home, they need to let us know. Do you want to hear the players? Do you want to hear them mic'd up? We talked to Jeremy Kleppel about micing up, and, one of the things is the thought is we might not want to hear what they're saying out there.
Well, I'd be curious to know what kind of conversation happens out on the court there.
I did ask the referees if we could mic them up, and they said absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Very emphatically. Spain with his back to goal, trying to turn. Able to eventually find his way to Vu. Almost thought that one was going to take some deflections and find its way into the back of the net. Instead, it's a corner kick for Lansing City.
It's a cheeky little play right there from Blanco to little pass on to Vu.
Seven and a half to go. Mitwest 2, Lansing City 10. 11, excuse me. It's corner kick wasted for Lansing City.
Yeah, we do need to get the score on your screen and in the arena updated. It looks like some of those goals just came in hot and heavy fast, and we weren't prepared to add them.
At this point, with about 7 to go, Gerard, we haven't seen any goals from Mitwest this half. We've seen a lot less dangerous opportunities for them this half. What do you think's going on for their side right now?
In a lot of ways, this feels eerily reminiscent to how they played in all of their other games this season. They tend to start to drop back and play more defensive and focusing on that. A lot more counterattacking, less possession of the ball. And I don't anticipate them really changing anything and just continuing to do. A lot of times we've seen they've almost accept the loss and just try to mitigate as many goals as possible.
Kleppel, it's by Mitwest defender in the near side, looking for one inside. It wasn't there. Blanco trying to find Crispane. It's not there.
Good team effort, though, by Zach Landers to be on goal. And, oh!
Bad giveaway from Conrad Gonzalez nearly results in a goal for Mitwest. Did you see how Gonzalez tried to fly through the air there?
Yeah, it's one of Gonzalez's weaknesses is his vertical. That was just over his reach. Luli Mendoza trying to put his stamp on the game, hitting the post for the first time. Something
that we've seen from Lansing City that has not been, it's kind of plagued them a lot of this year, is Elijah Vu. Nearly a 1v keeper scenario. He holds on to it a little bit too long. But we've seen distribution issues, particularly from Conrad Gonzalez, that have resulted in goals or in chances that were very close.
Yeah, he does from time to time take some risky decisions on who to pass and when to pass. Luckily that time it didn't cost him.
Here's Elijah Vu. Playing to Timblow with his back to goal. It's poked away from him. Mitwest win the possession there. Nice diagonal. Long shot from Zach Landers there, sails high. Not much to be concerned about there for Conrad Gonzalez. Take another look at that shot.
Yeah, and Sam Al was voicing some frustration there because he was wide open in front of goal and Landers just blasted it instead of making the easy pass.
Kleppel loses it to Sam Al, and Mitwest now trying to find an attack. Here's Landers. Strong strike off the mark.
Yeah, and you get to this point a lot. It's kind of similar to baseball when you get down by 10 or more runs. Everybody's just going for the solo home run every time they come up to bat. Like every time a player gets on ball for Mitwest, they're just going to fire it as soon as they get inside of range.
Collision there between Vu and Ryan Cruz.
And it just leads to more of that narrative we talked about earlier. These players don't get a lot of time practicing together. They don't get a lot of time preparing before games together. Players showing up during the game. So they're not really able to play together creatively, and they got to create for themselves.
Well, here is Saltzman. He was working with Timblow. Decided to take it himself. We're going to have a rolling foul against Mitwest, their 4th of the half. Corner kick for Lansing City. Right across the face of goal, Pashima scoops it up, and quick distribution not handled well by Cruz. But very interesting. I mean, you know, actually in our conversations with, just a comment about what you said a minute ago, Gerard, in our conversations with Francois leading up to this game, he actually mentioned the amount of practice time that they have had since their last game. He said that they were practicing every day for, you know, pretty much almost the last, you know, since their last game, and getting a lot more hours of futsal in. But as you mentioned, it's almost great chance. Best one of the half probably for number 4, Marcus Ionesco.
I would expect to see more cohesion from them as a team. Not just defensively with the structure, which I feel like they did a decent job with, at least early on in the first half, but offensively, understanding where people are going to be. It doesn't seem like we've really got that out of them at all. And so maybe if they are spending a lot of time practicing, maybe it is just focusing on the defensive elements of the game.
Question mark there as to what the full story is. Lansing City give that one away. Here's Landers working with Storm Powers in the back. Lansing City showing high press, and David wins it. It's 1v keeper. Can he put it away? It's saved by Posthuma.
Once again, Posthuma to the rescue. That's not one that you see David Saltzman miss often at all. Really great opportunity. Kleppel just drops it off to him too, puts him 1v1 against the goalie, and Posthuma making an outstanding save once
He's done it, exactly, once again. He's done it time and time again tonight. See Conrad Gonzalez come up, fly as a 5th attacker for Lansing. You don't see him do that very often.
No, not very often at all.
Couple beating one defender, finding a shot, blocked by Posthuma. West trying to go quickly the other way. It's out of the reach of Sam Al. Just under 4 minutes to go. Kleppel's shot takes a deflection and saved by Posthuma. Lansing City making a sub as we take another look at this one.
You know, it's really one of the best things for Posthuma to get to play with Mitwest, because he gets a lot of practice as goalkeeper in these games.
He is facing a lot of shots. He gets another one off the left foot of Naya Saba. We saw him really in a really good position there coming out of his arc to cut off the angle.
Yeah, and he chested that ball. You know, it's one of the things, almost like a boxer, he just takes blow after blow after blow. I have to wonder, when does it start to wear on his body?
We did see him grimace after that last save off his chest. We don't have an official count of how many saves he's had tonight. I think it's pretty safe to say he's probably in the 20s somewhere.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No doubt about that. Yeah, and he's actually grimacing still from that shot from Nayasaba. It hit him just below the pectoral and the rib, so, you know, not the best place to get hit with a rocket.
Nayasaba and Gonzalez both coming out for that one. Dallas retreating quickly to goal. Garcia picks it up, and now Landers. He was looking for Storm Powers. This pass doesn't connect.
And you see all these movements and all of this possession from Mitwest, but they're just not on the same page with these passes and the movement. Alvaro Garcia tried to make a play to Zach Landers, but Landers wasn't on the same page as him and just ends up kicking it out of play.
I think it shows that the game is too fast for them right now. Where they're at, their ability, that's the reason it seems like they're not on the same page, is because they have to play so quickly that they're uncomfortable, and I think it's a matter of the game is just too fast for them right now. Ooh, chance near the base of goal. Spain was there. He gets it again. Oh, he can't quite finish this one.
You know, and that is something that Lansing City does like to do. They like to cause the game to go faster. They want to play with the high press. They want to accelerate the game. And it's really in an effort to make the pace faster and put pressure on the opposing team.
I think that's something that we're seeing the results of in how the possessions for Mitwest are going. Pretty short. If anything is happening, it's usually kind of off of transition or when the ball is kind of bouncing around in between possession of either team. Every time they're getting it, Lansing City is right there applying that pressure. Kick in here for Mitwest just before the half line. Not quite on the same page there. It's Alvaro Garcia and his teammate Sergio. Well, here's Kleppel in the half-court attack. Ooh, not quite on the same page. Nyasaba and Timblow. Washington long. Looking for Garcia. Not bad contact, but not in the direction that he was hoping for. Another look at that opportunity. It just goes a bit wide. Kleppel and Timblow almost some nice Holland pivot play. Kleppel ends up on the ground. Santiago as well. 1:14 to go. Lansing City 10, Lansing City 11, Mitwest 2. Not seen any goals probably in the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a few minutes since we've seen any. And in a lot of ways, it feels like Lansing City's kind of taking the foot off the gas.
Well, here's Mitwest. Zach Landers. I think that was Storm Powers.
You know, we might not.
Number 4 was there as well, Ionesco.
We might not have seen any goals, but what we have seen is a lot of saves from Postuma.
Certainly have, and that was probably the best chance of the half for Mitwest. 3 players around, forcing Gonzalez to come out. Not able to convert. Nice shot there from that Santiago.
A little bit of frustration as we're not starting that 4-second count with any sense of urgency whatsoever.
Postuma flying up as a 5th attacker. He retreats. Finds his hands on it in his arc. Immediately goes up. Landers is here. Saltzman's here. Going to be kicking for Mitwest with just under 30 seconds to go. That one not quite put in the position that Landers wanted it to be.
a very anticlimactic finish here. The last minute or so, just the ball continually going out. It's one of the things, we've seen really from Mitwest all night. It's just the lack of ability to maintain possession and creatively work together to make something happen on offense.
And we have seen some times of the game where there's been quite a lot of energy, and Elijah Vu is going to add to some of that energy as he gets a hat trick.
And once again, Elijah Vu finds himself in the exact right position to finish a fantastic pass from Jeremy Kleppel. It's the back post run that Elijah Vu's gotten so good at. Over the last few games, he has demonstrated some real consistency with understanding where to be. The back post run is so vital in futsal, and he executes it at a really high level.
Lansing City get their 12th with 15 seconds to go. Conrad Gonzalez scoops that one up. Boarding the attack from Zach Landers. 5 seconds to go. Can they get another one? Saltzman. And that's going to be the fourth time he puts his hands on his head. He probably wishes he had that one. Take a look at it again. He just blows it right over the goal, unfortunately. And there goes his hands on his head once again. And that's going to take us all the way to the end of the match. This one ending up 12-2 in favor of Lansing City.
Yeah, even though the score line is 12-2 and they won by 10, I can't help but think that that's just really the way the game ended is such a statement for really Lansing City tonight. Really about how many goals they could have scored, not only from missed opportunities like that, but those saves from Pashima. Because every game this season so far, Mitwest has lost by 17 or 18 goals.
There was one they did lose by 9.
Oh, you're right, 9 on 1. And last time they played, they lost by 17. So, Lansing City was missing quite a few of their creative players tonight. Jack Fisher, Drew Barney, Luciano Saranuda. And so they did dominate the game in every facet, but you have to wonder, will the goal differential come into play when it comes time to decide the playoffs? And I don't think it will, because they've got a nice little gap here. And when you think about who Jenga has left, they play Mitwest one game, and then Detroit Imperial, which they're about to start their game again tonight against Olay. They play Midwest United as well. I can't imagine that they're going to make up the 10-goal separation now that Lansing City has created. And so we really look to see what's going to happen in their last game of the season against Olay as far as determining playoffs.
And it really could come down to that one. That is going to be the last game of the season for all the teams. Mm-hmm. And the final spot in the playoffs could be determined by how that game results. We're going to go ahead and skip over some of our normal post-game thoughts because Detroit Imperial at Grand Rapids Olay has already begun. So if you are looking to watch another futsal game, go ahead and check that one out, and we're going to be jumping on that broadcast remotely here in just a little bit. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jared Kleppel along with Gerard Ascani from everyone else on the FCS Live team. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.